Fantastic. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share. So you get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you can be, just show you right here with me, the BABGOG. And I appreciate you to pull up on me. What's going on, man? Sorry everybody in the building. Finally. Okay. You got a 10-4 Tuesday, y'all, man. Shout out to Doug, man. Shout out to Doug, man. Hey, Doug, I greatly appreciate your brother, Doug. Be keeping me in the loop. Doug, I don't be ignoring it, man, but I gotta give it a time for it to cool off or whatever. As I can see, like I said, my numbers start out low whenever I'm doing that, but I think I done laid off of it long enough where I'm gonna get back to the actual 10-4 Tuesdays branding and all the stuff has been exposed. I've talked about at this point. We got some more fun stuff we're gonna explore, right? About shit that we were right about. But the main focus today, man, is silver. Where all my silver? You know what I mean? We talking about the tinfoil. We talking about the silver fall today, baby. Listen, y'all remember when I told niggas, man, listen, man. I already had this. I had this since 2015, 2016. My first deployment. I went to fucking, the home of gold and got some gold. I did not buy gold in the States. You're getting ripped off. For one, it's not real gold. It's bullshit. But two, if you understand, right? You know what I'm saying? You get the best deal, damn near spot price or whatever. You get the actual haggle. You're not haggling with motherfucking Zales, okay? You're not haggling with K. The price is the price, okay? But you go over to motherfucking Dubai, okay? Buddy, my friend. You know what I'm saying? If you got good negotiating skills, you know what I'm saying? But good price for you. Good price. Come on. Best price. You know what I'm saying? And then you play two ends against the middle, man. You get you a good deal, man. Shout out to man Doug in the building, man, with the support. Greatly appreciate your brother. So I'm stacking this pay. Ain't nothing but some money. With the $10 holler, man. I greatly appreciate you, Doug. A1 in the building. So, man, hey, man, they say all we do is talk about women's. Y'all know Fantastic told y'all about this silver shit. I don't know how long. I don't know what Big Truck ass said. Big Truck always kind of show up to admit he wrong, but he right. He kind of right, but whatever. So I expect a Big Truck showing today. But and shout out to Big Truck because Big Truck got me on Nvidia. So shout out to Big Truck, right? But either way, Big Truck, the precious metals is a bunch of bullshit. Bitcoin is a bunch of bullshit. And since motherfucking Big Truck said that shit, I don't know what Bitcoin is multiplied, like 10 times or some shit. Crazy, right? It's down now, but the highest peak was like at least 8 times, if not 10 times when the time we was talking about it. And then of course, silver now has doubled since the year. And me, I'm a long-term guy, bro. I don't play with the stuff. I put it in there, I forget all about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, this is why I gotta put the that's why I gotta put the what's name. Give me a second, y'all. This is why I have to put it on there because YouTube will show my shit to weirdos, right? And then motherfuckers start doing weird shit. So I gotta do this shit here, man. What is we doing, bro? Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second, people. If you're gonna troll, you at least gotta be a subscriber to troll, man. You know what I'm saying? You at least gotta be a subscriber to troll. You can't just come here trolling, bro. You can't have that. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Okay. Okay. It's mainly on that one. I ain't really worried about that one. Just okay. As long as it's that one, I think we good. cool. That's the main one. Well, maybe. Hold on. Wait a second. Because apparently it wasn't that one. It was this one. So I don't know. But anyway. There we go. All right, if you're gonna troll me, you at least gotta fucking follow me to troll me. So yeah, man, I put my money in some shit or whatever, sit it down and forget about it. When the whole big XRP thing happened, I didn't know about it until I saw a YouTube video about it. Right when the run happened, I put my money in there, was doing whatever it's gonna do, and when it gets to where it's get, then if I need it, I'll fuck with it, right? But the silver thing, man, I heard about it was yesterday or day before yesterday. Yesterday was today's Tuesday, so I heard about it yesterday, right? And of course, I looked at it when people talk about it, and hold on. I looked at it when Buddy talked about it. Looked at my thing, right? Because I got actual silver that I invest in. You feel me? All right. And let's look at it. Silver in the week. All right, so silver in a month went up like less than 50, like $10 an ounce. So silver in a month has went up $10 an ounce. Silver in the quarter has gone up damn near $20 an ounce or $18 an ounce. And then for the year, silver has doubled. Okay. So silver has doubled in the year, right? I've been in since 22 or 23, right? So I got in at a nice little, whatever, right? Now I wish I would have been dumping more money into it at this point. But at the same time, a point where I wasn't really dumping a lot of money into it is because there was a ceiling on silver due to it being allegedly. I gotta say this because I don't know if you can say this and it not be whatever. And again, none of this is financial advice, by the way. I am not telling you what to invest in. I'm not telling you what not to invest in. I'm just simply talking about my investments and the current states of the precious metal silver. Okay. Right. Exactly. Like, see, my man right here knows. All right. And it's been purposely done that way. And this is why we talk about it. And it goes into the whole, well, what this got to do with Tinfoil Tuesday, nigga? Get to the conspiracy shit, nigga. Calm down, brother. Calm down, sister. I got you. So again, remember, the dollar is fiat currency, meaning that the dollar is not backed by anything. It used to be a gold standard, right? There was never a silver standard, but silver has always had was like gold's little brother or first cousin. So at one point in time, you will have something that actually had value, not a promise or suspicion of value, and that's what the dollar is. Okay, all right. The dollar used to be backed by actual physical shit, meaning, hey, if I give you a dollar is worth this much gold, right? Okay. But once they removed the gold standard and it became fiat currency, now it's okay. Well, not only do I not have to have anything behind the dollars, I can literally just make dollars out of thin air and manipulate the market because now, if I oversaturate the market, the dollar lose value. If I pull the motherfucking dollars back in, the dollars gain value. Inflation, deflation, recession, depression, all these different things, right? And again, the dollar is just a piece of paper. All right. So this brother right here, okay, not brother rather, but this gentleman is going to explain to us how and why silver is now booming. Okay, literally and somewhat figuratively. We know this, man. I don't think a lot of people know. Silver is actually used in a lot of things, bro. right? Gold is mostly for show, and gold does have some use. Gold is a very good conductor, but being that it's extremely expensive, it's not highly used. But silver is also a great conductor, and it's highly a big thing I don't think people understand too, man. Corrosion resistant. Okay, corrosion resistant. All right, that is the if you can get something that's corrosion resistant, meaning you put it in water, you put it in salt water, you put it in something in the corrosive what's name, it's going to be extremely hard for it to return back to its natural state, oxidize, right? That causes issues and problems, especially in electrical systems, man. Okay, this is one of the major reasons that silver has such value, because when you get these um high speed processors and all these different things and so on and so forth, these high edge fucking technologies, man. Hey, silver is a great conductor and has great corrosion resistance. So all this time they were able to just go and get the silver and use it. And people make fun of silver, right? People making fun of this shit. Oh, nigga, this is some silver, nigga. Some silver. Okay. All right. There we go. My man right here, man. Hey, he done studied or he an electrician at some point in time. Shout out to him, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ended it with paper contracts. The barrier has fallen. For 5 years, the global banking cartel drew a line in the sand at $50. They defended it with paper contracts. They defended it with margin hikes. They defended it with media blackouts. But 3 days ago, on December 6th, 2025, that line didn't just break, it evaporated. Silver crossed 59. And as I speak to you today, Tuesday, December 9th, we are watching something that hasn't happened in 45 years. We are watching price discovery. The mainstream financial.
So basically what he's saying, silver was purposely suppressed, right? Suppressed to the point of where, again, that's even the attitude about it. Remember the cash money days. Wasn't nobody worried about silver. Platinum was the biggest thing, right? Platinum. Niggas went from gold to platinum, right? White gold, all this other shit, right? But nobody was talking about silver, man. Imagine if you got silver from way back in the day, okay? All right. If you, I got to call my sister because when my great grandma died, she had actual silverware. Silverware. So I got to ask her, like, hey, what did you do with that? Where is it? Because, hey, that's a good little bit of bread right now.
Press is confused. They're telling you this is a speculative overshoot. They're telling you to take profits because the RSI is overbought. They're telling you that $59 is expensive. They are wrong. $59 isn't the top. $59 is the floor. Because what the charts don't show you and what JP Morgan won't tell you is that the mechanism keeping silver cheap wasn't just paper manipulation. It was a physical buffer, a stockpile of surface inventory that the world has been eating into since 2021. I have run the numbers. I have tracked the deficits from the Silver Institute. I have tracked the drain from the LBMA and the record imports into India. And the math is terrifying. Since 2021, the world has consumed 1.1 billion ounces more than it has mined.
So pretty much, because of all the hype around everything else, right? And people really seeing silver as like a foregone conclusion or taking it for granted and not thinking about it. It's being used up, but nobody's actually mining for it because it's not valuable. It's being used. What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? It's being used for actual like work, right? And working purposes more so than making jewelry and shit. Right? Easily, Doug.
Let that number sink in. 1.1 billion. That is equivalent to erasing every single silver mine in Mexico, Peru, and China for an entire year. It is gone, burned up in solar panels, buried in landfills, locked in private vaults in Mumbai. That 1.1 billion ounce buffer is what allowed the banks to suppress the price. It was the slush fund they used to fill the gaps. But as of this month, the slush fund is empty. In the next 20 minutes.
Did you hear about the silver Samsung battery rumor to be coming out soon? No, I haven't. Appreciate you, bro. Industrial reasons. Appreciate you. Industrial and still another word I'm looking for. But industrial is definitely one of them. No, I haven't. But that too, man, be careful. All right. Most motherfuckers don't know about this and they're not gonna know about it until I say it really starts popping and people start talking about it and people start offering. Because remember when the gold thing, we buy gold, expect that. Okay. Again, this is not financial advice, it's not financial advice, it's not financial advice. But please expect the and be aware of the we buy silver. Because again, man, silver is the most useful and practically useful fucking precious metal, and it's been that way for so long because they had suppressed it. Now though that the value is about to increase, be prepared, bro. Okay, please be prepared. And again, I have both physical silver in my person, right? Nothing crazy. All right, don't come over here thinking you're gonna hit a payday. You're not. You're gonna hit something else. Okay, please do not come this way. Okay, as soon as you step on my property line. Okay. But there are places and just like you have what's the name stock exchanges, you have like precious metal exchanges, man. Do your research, find your precious metal exchange. Again, this is not financial advice, but like Doug said, please understand this silver shit is serious. This has been over our lifetime in the making, longer than most of us, if any of us have been living, right? And it's finally to the point of where they don't have a reason, or they can no longer do it. So trust and believe, okay? This shit is gonna be right. Shout out to a man Seminole. Look at what he said.
I'm going to walk you through the vacuum effect. I'm going to show you why there is zero technical resistance between $59 and $100. I'm going to prove to you that the solar vortex has made demand completely inelastic. And I'm going to show you why the Indian whale bought the bottom while the West was selling the top. The deficit is real, the vaults are empty, and the vacuum is open. This is the story of the 1.1 billion ounces that vanished, and why they are taking the dollar down with them. Let's start with the math. Because to understand where we are going to $100 and beyond, you have to understand the hole we just dug. For most of the 2010s, the silver market was in a surplus. Miners dug it up, industries used it, and there was usually a little bit left over. That leftover silver sat in vaults, it sat in London, it sat in New York, it kept prices boring. Then came 2021, the year the world changed. In 2021, the deficit started small, but by 2022, it exploded. The Silver Institute reported a deficit of 200.
Now remember the same thing, the cobalt thing, right? Remember they was having this, they had a backup for a lot of things, computer chips, cars, all these things, being that we're in the electrical world now, and you're using and you're gonna need silver as, you know what I mean, what you're using for your conductor. Nvidia done fucking exploded, AMD done exploded. So you got all of these high power processors in these companies that are going through the fucking roof. What do you think they're using and making all these chips, right? And these circuit boards. So if they're using it, and these come from, you know, $1 million to $1 billion, damn near $1 trillion companies, what does that tell you about how much this has been just slowly chipping away and nobody was even thinking to, you know what I mean?
137.7 million ounces. In 2023, another 140 million ounces. In 2024, the deficit widened again to 215.3 million ounces. And now, as we close the books on 2025, early projections show we have burned through another 200 million ounces. Add that up. Since the start of this decade, we have run a cumulative structural deficit of nearly 800 million ounces. But wait, that's just the reported deficit. That doesn't account for the investment drain. The silver pulled out of ETFs and moved into private storage. When you add the drain from the LBMA vaults, which plummeted 30% from their 2021 peak, and you add the retail stacking frenzy, the real number isn't 800 million. It is over 1.1 billion ounces. Think about what that means. The entire global mining industry produces about 830 million ounces a year. Now that means for the last 5 years, we have been short more than an entire year's worth of global production. Where did the extra silver come from? It came from the ghost inventory. It came from the billions of ounces sitting in London vaults, legacy stockpiles from the 1990s, and government hoards. We have been cannibalizing our savings account to pay our daily bills, and the banking cartel loved it. As long as there was ghost silver to bleed into the market, they could point to the vaults and say, see, plenty of metal, no shortage here. But math is undefeated. You cannot run a deficit forever.
Math truly is undefeated, man. And again, keeping track of stuff like this and understanding it, man. Just saying. I don't know how much longer we got left on the dollar, but for all intents and purposes, like I said before, our lifetime is over with, bro. The dollar will be unseated by something, okay? Be it replaced by a fucking world currency or some shit, so the brick shit keep going or whatever, or cryptocurrency or whatever. But the dollar is not going to make it our lifetime, man. Please understand that. That's why you're seeing so much volatility in all these different things, and people trying to manipulate shit to keep it that way. Okay, to keep it afloat.
Eventually, the savings account hits zero. That is what happened this week. That is why we broke $59. The ghost silver is gone. The LBMA float, the metal actually available for lease, is effectively zero. The COMEX registered inventory is down to fumes. Now every new solar panel, every new cruise missile, every new iPhone has to be built with silver that was mined yesterday. There is no buffer. There is no...
Again, now everything he named, please pay attention to it. Everything we deal with, and again, I don't know how much silver is in this phone. I don't. But how many phones does fucking you know what I'm saying? Let's say it's a half an ounce, right? Well, no, the ounce is a lot. Well, no, it's not. And the what's the name of a phone? But let's say a tenth of an ounce or whatever. Right? I don't know. We talking silver, an ounce is a lot. But how many ounces are just Samsung, Apple alone using their phones? And that's just phones. We ain't talking watches. We ain't talking other electronics. We ain't talking iPads and TVs. All this fucking silver around us, man. Okay. I think it's like 20 some grams in an ounce. I think it's like 28 grams in an ounce, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 28.35 grams in an ounce. Hey, man, you know, this, I only know that because of precious metals, by the way. Okay. I only know it's 28 grams in an ounce because of precious metals. Okay. All right. 28.35 grams.
Slush fund. And when you have a market with inelastic demand that must be met regardless of price, and you remove the supply buffer, price doesn't adjust linearly, it goes vertical. The 1.1 billion ounces didn't just vanish. They were the anchor holding the balloon down, and the rope just snapped. But wait.
You more than good. God damn, boy. Depending on how much you got, shit. You just had a nice little what's the name, man? Who, me? I emerged from the crack smoke.
The skeptics say. If silver hits $60 or $80, surely demand will crash. Solar manufacturers will switch to copper. They'll use less silver. This is the single biggest lie on Wall Street right now, and I'm going to destroy it with one acronym, TOPCon. For years, the solar industry used a technology called PERC. It was efficient enough, and it used about 10 milligrams of silver per watt. But PERC hit a wall. It couldn't get any more efficient. And in the energy game, efficiency is everything. So the industry pivoted. In 2023 and 2024, the entire global manufacturing base shifted to TOPCon and HJT cells. Here's the problem. TOPCon doesn't use 10 milligrams of silver. It uses 13. HJT uses 22. We are moving toward more silver, not away from it. Why can't they switch to copper? They tried. Oh, how they tried. Copper oxidizes, it corrodes, it kills the lifespan of the panel when you
Yay. Gotta love science, man. Gotta love electricity. I told you, man. Nothing. Silver is like silver and gold. Again, some of the best conductors and most. Okay, corrosion resistant. There's a reason if you fucking see pennies when everybody think pennies is nasty as shit. We know copper oxidizes and copper corrodes easily because look at the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is made of fucking copper, but when copper starts to oxidize, it gets that green tone, that green tint to it. Okay. All right. Silver, no. Silver gets a little darker, but even the way that it corrodes is totally different. To where silver may corrode, but it's not going to be something that interferes as much with electric flow, the flow of the electricity, because it's not a buildup. Shit will actually fucking cake up and you know what I mean and form on copper.
are selling a solar farm with a 25-year warranty, you cannot use a metal that rusts in 5 years. You need silver. And here is the economics of the solar vortex. Let's say a solar panel costs $200 to manufacture. At 25,
and they're just talking silver panels. What the fuck you think they're using in these robots? What do y'all think they're using in these robots? These
dollars silver, the silver inside that panel cost about $15. That's 7.5% of the cost. Now, look at today. Silver is $59. That silver now costs roughly $35. Does the manufacturer stop making the panel? No. Does the government cancel the solar mandate? No. They just raised the price of the panel from $200 to $220. The demand for silver and solar is inelastic. A 100% increase in the price of silver only increases the cost of the final product by 10%. This gives silver pricing power that almost no other commodity has. If oil doubles, you drive less. Demand destruction. If silver doubles, Samsung and First Solar keep buying. They have no choice. And remember the deficit we talked about? In 2023, solar consumed 193 million ounces. In 2024, it was over 230 million. By 2030, the University of New South Wales project solar could consume 85% to 98% of global silver reserves. Not annual production, reserves. The silver still in the ground. We are strip mining the planet to go green. And we have run out of the easy metal. So when you see silver at $59, don't think expensive. Think necessary. The industrial buyers aren't looking at the price chart. They are looking at their production schedules. And they are terrified. They are the ones buying right now. They aren't buying paper contracts on the COMEX. They are calling refineries directly and saying, we will take everything you have, name your price. That is why the spot price is leading the futures price. The physical market is screaming. If you want to know who won this game, don't look at Wall Street, look at India. While Western investors were dumping their silver ETFs in 2023 and early 2024, India was doing something unprecedented. They were draining the West. Look at February 2024, a date that will go down in history as the beginning of the end for the London vaults. In that single month, India imported 2,295 metric tons of silver.
Yo, that is crazy. Tons. This is a 200 tons?
As the beginning of the end for the London vaults. In that single month, India imported 2,295 metric tons of silver.
2,295 metric tons.
Let me put that in perspective for you. 2,295 tons is roughly 73 million ounces. The United States Mint produces about 20 million silver eagles a year. India bought 3.5 years of total US mint production in 28 days. Why? Because the Indian whale saw the deficit coming. They saw the 1.1 billion ounce hole before we did. They knew that the solar factories being built in Gujarat would need massive amounts of paste. They knew that the Gift City Exchange was opening up to challenge the West. So they bought the bottom. They bought when silver was $22. They bought when it was $24. They cleaned out the London vaults while the LBMA was asleep at the wheel. And now that silver is $59, you might think, Oh, India will sell. They'll take profits. No, because in India, silver isn't a trade, it's wealth. It's the poor man's gold, but it's also the rich man's industrial input. The silver that went into India isn't coming back. It has been turned into jewelry or it has been consumed in electronics factories. It has left the free float. This is the key to the 1.1 billion ounce narrative. That silver didn't just vanish into thin air, it moved from weak hands to strong hands. The West is now waking up to a shortage, realizing they sold their insurance policy to the East for pennies on the dollar. JP Morgan knows this. They track the flows. They saw the 73 million ounces leave in February 2024. They saw the thousands of tons leave throughout 2025. Why do you think they stopped shorting? Why do you think the tamp downs stopped working? Because you can't spoof a market that has no metal. You can't flash crash the price when India is standing there with a bucket, ready to buy every single dip. The Indian whale broke the back of the short sellers, and now the West has to pay the price to get any metal back. So here we are, December 9th, 2025, $59. What happens next? We enter the vacuum. In technical analysis, resistance is created by people waiting to sell. If you bought silver at $30 5 years ago, maybe you sell at $30 to break even. That creates resistance.
Yeah, man. Listen, that's why I say long-term investing, bro, is there's a reason why they tell you that shit. There's a reason why 401ks are linked to the stock market, S&P 500 and shit, right? There's a reason. Okay. And it take your ass motherfucking 40 years to get a 401k, 40, 50 years to get a 401k. Okay. U.S. just added silver to the strategic minerals list after our stockpile was sold off in the early 80s to keep the Hunt brothers from cornering the silver market. Well, what makes it so fucked up, and I gotta try to find that video. It was a man that explained how they hold on. Used to have that video. Hold on. It was a dude that told a story about what happened when they changed the laws on having um gold and silver. I had it saved. I don't know where it is, but it was this dude. He's not a conspiracy theorist guy, but I think he's like an economy guy. Let me see. What you call it? Yeah. Fuck, man. It's a real old video, man. It's like the 80s or some shit. I wish I had it, but I can't. I can't find it. My bad. We'll get back to the video.
But who bought silver at 65? Who bought silver at 75 pars? Who bought silver at 85? Nobody. There is no overhead supply. There are no bag holders waiting to get out. This means that technically the sky is clear. This is what we call a blue sky breakout. When an asset clears its all-time highs, it enters a phase where the only way to find a seller is to bid the price up. We saw this with Bitcoin when it broke $20,000. It went to $60,000 in months. We saw this with Nvidia. Now it is silver's turn. But there's another target, a target that the 1.1 billion ounce deficit points to directly, $100. Why $100? Is it just a round number? No. If you adjust the 1980 high of $50 for inflation, using the government.
Shout out to my Otis Who network. I purchased $1,000 worth of silver coins at a little bit over a year ago, $24 an ounce. And look at it, $60 an ounce. Hey, man. Hey, brother, congratulations, man. And hey, it's only gonna keep going up, fam. Like they said, they're projecting, at least double of the double by this time next year. So just saying. You remember certificate and silver certificate bills? No. Uh-uh. I'm trying to find a video of the guy that was talking about the thing. I can't. Hold on. Maybe I can Google it. I'm gonna let the video play and I'm gonna look for it.
Its own rigged CPI numbers, that $50 is worth roughly $170 today. So at $59, silver is still historically cheap. It is still 60% below its real all-time high. But psychologically, $100 is the magnet. The vacuum effect works like this. First, the shorts cover. The hedge funds that are still short have to buy to close. They don't care about price. They care about survival. Second, the FOMO. The retail public, who ignored silver at $25, sees $60 on the news. They rush in. Third, the industry panic. This is the big one. When Tesla and Samsung realize the 1.1 billion ounce buffer is gone, they stop buying just in time. They start buying just in case. They hoard. Hoarding creates scarcity. Scarcity creates higher prices. Higher prices create more hoarding. It is a feedback loop from hell for the banks and a feedback loop from heaven for physical owners. The 1.1 billion ounces that vanished created the conditions for this vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. Price will rush in to fill it. I believe we will see a rapid move from $59 to $75 before the end of the year. And $100 is not a 2030 target. It is a 2026 target.
Again, man, listen. This is not financial advice. It's not financial advice. It's not financial advice. You can't get a pair of fucking Jordans for $50. And them pair of Jordans are not going to fucking double in price. Okay? Okay? For the same price for a pair of Jordans, which is $200 plus tax. All right? A year from now, possibly, or projected. Just saying. If you love your kids, a bar of fucking silver, you know what I'm saying, or you know, buying it from a silver bullion may be a wonderful Christmas present. Okay, we got to start thinking better, people. This is what the rich people did. They would get their kids like a little, you know, a little gram of gold or some shit like that, give them little gold bars, right? You don't think nothing of it until gold motherfucking, you know, triples in price since I don't know how when, if you go back 20 years or something. Right? Yeah, of course. You know, India is all about the finesse.
The 1.1 billion ounce deficit wasn't an accident. It was a transfer of wealth. It was a transfer from the impatient to the patient, from the paper believers to the physical realists, from the West to the East for 5 years.
And that's a big thing too. Listen, I don't know if you guys, well, of course y'all remember this. Remember, shortly after they made the euro, there was a lot of instability in the euro because you had certain, I think it was Turkey specifically, and another country that was trying to hold on to its currency or whatever, but pretty much had no choice but the motherfucking come into the shit because their currency weren't worth shit, right? The euro has had a couple of big fucking things, man, right? So for London to take a hard, you know what I mean, asset with value and let India snatch it from up under them. Just saying, man. Yeah, man. It's definitely a great fucking Christmas gift versus some shit your kids don't give a fuck about in the first place.
The data was screaming. The Silver Institute reports were public. The LBMA vault data was public. The India import numbers were public. Everyone had the chance to see the hole forming. Everyone had the chance to buy silver at $22, at $25, at $30. But they listened to the TV. They listened to the banks. Now the buffer is gone. The line at $59 is broken, and the vacuum is pulling us higher. If you're watching this and you still hold paper silver, unallocated accounts, SLV, pool allocated, you are standing in a burning building hoping the fire insurance company is solvent. Get the metal if you can still find it, because the 1.1 billion ounces that vanished are never coming back. And the next billion ounces, they are going to cost a hell of a lot more than $59. The squeeze isn't coming. The squeeze is here. I'll see you at $100. Subscribe. Right now.
Hey, man. Shout out to, let me see what channel is this. I'll make sure I tag them. War and Mystery Chronicles. Was that was not Boring Currency? That's an AI. It's an AI channel. So Boring Currency. It's an AI thing. All of it's the same guy. But yeah, man. Um, that's something too. Do you think the Federal Reserve is putting us in debt? Yeah. What do you mean? Think? Yes, it is. That's all the. Listen, man. The whole point of the American dollar, the American money system, is to make you a debt slave. Remember, Buddy was the dude that was doing the what's name. He never even really went that far, but he was just saying it. But he wasn't giving you the meat and potatoes concerning that shit. Everything about the U.S. money system, bro, and the Federal Reserve Bank, is to make you a debt slave, to keep you in debt perpetually, right? This is why they want your ass. They keep upping the um the retirement age, right? And they keep letting you know they keep charging you Social Security, but knowing Social Security is not gonna last to the time that you qualify to fucking draw from Social Security. So yeah, in a year, yeah, in a year's time, and just like unexpectedly, nobody saw it coming. So better trust and believe, man. This shit is about to. I won't say be what parabolic, but just again, no financial advice. Pay attention. If you got some money laying around and you finna go, waste it on some shit, invest it in something. That's all I'm gonna say. There's gonna be some fluctuation in the market. There's gonna be some volatility because of everything that's going on or whatnot, what have you. But please, 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 man. Um, hey, you know, it's one of the few things that's where we know what the value is. It may change your life. Let me see if I can fucking can I let me can I search my damn what's the name, man? See if I can find the jar. Oh, this first. No, I need to search my thing. Okay, I know that. That shit all fucked up. Americans are basically raised to practice consumerism, which is why China has a massive amount of wealth today. Not supporting this fighting. I was watching Lovely T. She broke down the real reason Trump supporting genocide of Christians in Nigeria, which is because they are building the biggest rare earth mineral plant in Africa, fighting genocide. Okay, if I was to say he wasn't supporting genocide, but yeah. So listen, man, Africa is the key. Again, whoever controls Africa is going to control so many of the minerals and things that haven't been tapped into, and that's why um it's crazy, right? When we have the Africa conversations, and this is why I say with 1.7 trillion dollars, right, of spending power we have over here, and the people that we have, you have the two richest black people, right, in the world here. If David Johnson and I always get I just learned this damn not David Johnson. Um, is it David Johnson? But if two black men that have $20 billion net worth, right, and everybody else were to start a hub in Africa, namely be it the diamond mines. Well, that's probably already there, but a land that we know could have diamonds, or places got cobalt, whatever it is, bro. You get control over that shit, man. All right, and work up an actual motherfucking contract. Put actual people that are gonna, not screw shit over in power, bruh. Change the world, literally. Robert Smith and I think the other dude was David Johnson. I think not Robert Johnson. David Stewart. There we go. There we go. David Stewart. I always get his fucking name. David Stewart. There we go. Because David Stewart overtook Robert F. Smith last year or some shit, right? So David Stewart and Robert F. Smith um add up to be $20 billion in net worth. Both of them two. Those two. Right. So if we were to again take the money from here, establish a place over there, and again, it would have to be somewhere to where we know you did the excavation, you did the research, you found out where the minerals were, you found out where the cobalt is, you found out again, some shit to where it's not already under contract with somebody, right? But you can actually motherfucking use it versus the people just eating off of it and stealing from the people. That'd be the problem. Well, yeah, it would. Well, no, I don't know about that. Depending. I ain't saying take over the whole thing. I'm just saying a part. That's what I'm saying. It's something that's not already under contract or somebody got control of. So one pre-1964 quarters worth $10.97 in silver. That's another thing too. I didn't know about that too, Mayo Monkey. So certain depending on when the currency was made, certain coins were made. You can have some coins that are even worth a good little bit of money, especially quarters, because they were making quarters with silver up until that point. Stop playing. Stop it, please. They just cheap and musty. Okay. I ain't finna do this to you. Listen, baby. I can't be smelling that. I can't be doing that. Wondering if it's me. No, baby, we gotta put that deodorant on. I don't want if she don't got on deodorant now. She gotta put on that odorant. I know Robert Kiyosaki going ham. I ain't even looked at him yet, but I know he going off. I know Robert Kiyosaki is doing the monkey right now. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Hopefully it's there. Cause I know I saved it. Yes, it's probably not here. I'm trying to see if I can find it, y'all. Well, anyway, I can just give you guys synopsis, right? So the guy, he's white dude, might have been like white Italian, kind of fat. He had the slick back hair, and he was explaining how when they changed the laws about owning gold and silver, right? I think it was specifically for that one in gold. How not only did they fucking penalize them for the having the gold, they taxed them for the gold, but then they retroactively penalized them for holding the gold, even though for when it was legal. That was his biggest point, right? So I can see, especially this is why I say you got to be careful. And of course, like, you know, in big certain amounts, they put a limitation on to how much you would be able to hold and have. Don't be surprised that that comes back, especially being that it's a deficit, especially being that this shit is gonna go through the roof. Do not be surprised, bro. That's why I'm skeptical about the whole, you know, go get the physical silver and you feel me? Blanco, what up? Hell no. Listen, bro. And unless they let's just let us go in there and see it and actually see that it's actual gold, bro. I don't believe shit these motherfuckers tell us, man. Please understand that. Okay. That's like one of the biggest things you need to understand. That this shit here is just, you know, definitely got to understand that. But check this out. Let me see. Tinfoil Tuesdays. I just saw the damn thing to where the world's first humanoid robot that changes its own battery and never dies. Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't we say this? Didn't I tell y'all that? Listen, man. These robots are going to be able to work 24/7, 365. Okay, you ain't got to pay for no health insurance. You ain't got to pay for no 401k. All you got to do is motherfucking build a robot, right? And turn the motherfucker on and let it run. Endless production. Okay, and this just the, you know, this is the ground floor. This is the beginning. This ain't advanced yet. This is the beginning stages. Remember this, man. Put a one in the chat if y'all remember. Remember when the first like plasma TVs came out? Put a one in the chat if you remember when the first plasma TVs came out. Chat participation, chat participation, chat participation. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button. Man, Doug, come on, bro. Stop it. Yeah, shout out to Mayo Monkey. When plasma TVs came out, they were ridiculously priced. Ridiculous, bro. If you had a plasma TV, it was like fucking thousands of dollars. Not just 1,000. Like we talking 2 and up. Okay. Just not even top of the line, nothing special, so on and so forth. Can you get a plasma TV today? And what was that? What was that? Plasma TVs what? Early 2000s or 2010s? No. Plasma TVs were, yeah, plasma TVs like 20,000. I mean, early 2000s. We're not even 30 years removed from fucking plasma TVs, and plasma TVs are completely and totally obsolete. If a motherfucker tried to sell me a plasma TV, man, we fighting. Okay. That's what I said, Darvell. That's what I was trying to think. I think that too. The projector TVs were definitely early 2000s, but I want to say plasma was like 05 or 08 or some shit. You could get a flat screen TV before 2010 for sure, is what I'm saying. So the same way that happened, right? Just like you didn't have electric cars before, but you had hybrids, right? Hybrids became fully electric, right? Bro, You understand this is the ground level of robotics? This is nothing spectacular. This is nothing amazing. This is some shit changing out its own battery is nothing. 20, 30 years from now, this shit is going to be self-repairable. It's going to be able to, hey, malfunction in right arm, dislocate the motherfucking right arm, go in that same motherfucking factory and replace it, hook the broken arm into something to diagnose the issue and problem, see what the fuck is going on. And now you either have a program or another robot fixing the broken part so it can be recycled for the next malfunction. Most people don't think technically because you don't work in a technical world and, we just go through life. Bro, this robot shit is serious. I know I joke around and whatever, bro, but this robot shit is literally going to change the world. This is why I say I do not trust fucking Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a real life fucking evil genius. Not only is the nigga building the fucking robots that's going to replace everybody, he's literally fucking building spaceships to for us to live underground in Mars. Okay? This shit is happening extremely fast. Karate chop shop. Self-replicating is different, brother. That's another level. Self-replicating is another level. I don't know if it'll be self-replicating in 30 years. That's really some sci-fi shit right there. Not saying impossible, but improbable for self-replicating in 30 years. Hey man, listen. Y'all seen the dude that I did? I don't know. Did I do Tinfoil Tuesdays and show you the dude that had the chip? I don't think I ever showed y'all. Hold on. Well, let's go through this first. I'm tripping. The world's first humanoid robot capable of autonomous battery swapping. What does that mean for me and you? Fuck Kevin Gates. That motherfucker don't get tired for real. I-95 where? Oh, God. Yo, that's crazy. Oh, shit. At least he lived. Yo, this some wild shit. This ain't 10-4 Tuesday, but this is crazy. Imagine this shit right here. Jesus Christ. This some shit for your ass. You driving home from work. This motherfucker land on your car, man. They had to pee on themselves just a little bit, man. They had to pee on themselves just a little bit. Oh shit! What the fuck? Yo, that's crazy. But everybody survived out of this. Had to. That's the best part about it. Nobody died. Hey, I can tell you this though. Hey, listen. Motherfucker rich enough to own a plane, I'm finna get paid. Okay. My back injuries, pain and suffering and PTSD. Well, I can't even drive on the highway no more. At least 500,000. Shut up, male monkey. Shut up. Get off of Florida. Yo, that's crazy. That is fucking crazy, man. Y'all know I gotta show you this though. Y'all know I gotta show you this. Getting closer and closer. Getting closer and closer. Closer than close. You see it. You see it. Mute up, goddamn. You see it. Hey, man. Motherfuckers definitely finna get that 30-year payment. Motherfuckers definitely finna get this robot mortgage. Yeah, Mayo Monkey. And again, once you motherfucking put that skin, yo, chill out. Chill. Chill, man. It be y'all. It don't be me. It be y'all, man. It don't be me. Just saying, man. When they start putting skin on these motherfuckers. Oh man, what the fuck going on? The fuck? Yeah, this shit is crazy. I had it saved, but it don't say motherfucking. That shit pissed me off, man. Which is wild when you think about it. Because why the fuck would you not have robots in this shit? That mouth. Y'all ready? Let's see. Here we go. There we go. This is what I wanted. These motherfuckers. And I gotta be careful. I'm looking at it now to where they're purposely keeping robot out of the search thing. So they're talking about robots, but they're not putting robots in the description. Man, listen, man. This shit moving so fast, and most of the world not looking at it. They think everything a game. They think it's funny. They think it's bullshit. Fucking running robots, man. They get released next year. Remember that was the thing that started off iRobot. Remember Will Smith's whole situation, like the first action scene, the biggest thing that happens, there's a robot running, and Will Smith's trying to fucking track it down, right? Because he thought it stole something. If y'all have not seen what's name, man, get a refresher with fucking iRobot, man. iRobot, I think iRobot is one of the most impactful ones. Everybody talks about Terminator and shit, right? That Terminator shit, man. All the stuff I would say pre 2000s was of course still revelation of the method, right? And telling you what was to come in the past. But the technology, both physically and digitally, didn't exist, right? To fully express it. Once you start talking about our robot and Westworld and um what Ex Machina, once you start until you get into that realm, that's when it really starts showing you more realistically the plan and what it's going to be. Logan, 10,000%, bro. Listen, they're telling you by 2030, 50% of the workforce is going to be over with. Minority Report, that was the one with Tom Cruise, right? Minority Report was 99 or 2000. Had to be like 2000s, early 2000s. Minority Report is one too. Y'all see that? Speaking of that, you know they doing the glasses now with the fucking with the HUD, the heads up display. Minority Report. My bad. 2002. Minority Report came out in 2002. And while y'all talking about, it's a girl on the thing right now. Somebody sent me, they tagged me in it for a girl that was talking about her being a psychic in the Navy. This shit crazy, man. This shit is really crazy. And again, because we don't have or most people don't have a what's the name background, they don't. It's just like it's silly shit, right? It's just silly shit. People not looking at the the extremely complex robotics and balance and gyros and shit. You know what I'm saying? Real time interaction. Nah, Logan, they said it's only 9 months to get to what's the name? I checked. They say it's only now. It's a 9 month one way trip to get to Mars. Logan, guess what the typical deployment time is? See how everything come together. It's only a 9 month trip, man. To yeah. Let's see. Listen, man, this sounds too familiar for me. I'm not fucking with it. Y'all can sign up if y'all want to. I'm not fucking with it. 6 to 9 months. Hell no. 6 months gonna become 9 months every time. That motherfucking spaceship breakdown, goddamn, ain't no turning around. You feel me? Nah, y'all got it. A trip to Mars typically takes 6 to 9 months using current technology and efficient energy saving trajectories like the Hoffman transfer. Though faster routes are possible with more fuel, and some probes have arrived in under 5 months. The exact time varies because Earth and Mars are always moving, so mission launches during specific windows every 26 months when the planets align for the most efficient path, making 7 to 10 months more common range. Hey, favors on it, man. Elysium and fucking what was the other joint? Chappie, Elysium, Chappie, and the Alita Battle Angel. All of those things where you have the this high society floating above everybody else. Time travel is impossible, man. That's on my stand on. If you create a way to time travel, you're going to destroy everything. That's just why I can't buy time travel being realistic. Even in the new theoretical aspect of it, they tell you, hey, you go back and you change some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just don't believe in time travel. Because once you do it, it's like everything gets ruined. I don't think anyone has enough discipline to not interfere with certain things. I just don't. I don't. And then the way people do shit, some stupid motherfucker will leave the shit unattended. Somebody finds out about it. They tell somebody about the shit. Now you got some rogue motherfucker traveling through time. And they done hit every Powerball in history. Yeah, Elysium. But then you got like y'all remember the Alita, the Battle Angel thing about the girl that was the robot. Butterfly Effect was a little different. Butterfly Effect was more esoteric than time than scientific time travel. The Butterfly Effect was different. Looper or the movie what was the one with Tenet? Tenet was another good example. Remember Tenet? Tenet was a good one too. Time Cop, good old John Claude Van Damme, JBD. But Tenet is another extremely good answer. Example. Tenet is a good example. Anything with Denzel's son in it, bro, I would pay attention to it because it has some type of futuristic um what's the name to it? What was Looper? I'm trying to remember what Looper was. Who was in Looper? Who was the main star in that one? I'm trying to remember it. Do not, I repeat, don't leave Earth. Earth laws don't apply in space, much less another planet. You will be a slave. Listen, man. Listen, man. Um, yeah, of course, the creator, man. Hopefully, y'all watch the creator. Who was? Yeah, Tenet. Tenet is a deep one though. Tenet is all about fucking time travel and shit. I gotta rewatch that because it's like I vaguely remember that. I can't remember the whole thing though. But what else? What is something else I wanted to show y'all? Let me see. Trying to see this shit. I believe time travel is possible, even in the Mandela effect happened. God is Alpha Omega. So like DC Marvel, he can decide if your evil schemes will work or not. I definitely want to change prophecy. Nah, yeah, but not changing prophecy, so to speak, to where God is going to equal out to be what's the name from that even does it right? Because if that's the case, what stops somebody from going back to you know what I mean to keep Jesus from being sacrificed? So that's why I'm just saying it's just it doesn't make sense for it to be possible. It's too many things that one individual could interfere with to change the whole existence or what's the name of the world. Is all I'm saying. It's just way too problematic. Oh shit, I definitely gotta watch that. Mayo Monkey. I don't remember that, but I gotta watch that. Another big one too. We ain't talking about that because it was confusing as shit. What was a movie with fuck the space movie where they was traveling it was traveling through the wormholes and shit, and he ended up coming out the daughter's bookcase or some crazy shit. It was like one of the most talked about movies. It had I think it had not Matt Damon. There was Matt Damon in it, and it had the robot and shit. That movie. That's another big one. Interstellar, yeah. Interstellar was fucking confusing as shit. To where you actually had Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about it. Inception is different. Inception wasn't a time travel thing. Inception is more so of setting up the reality that people are gonna live in, and they're gonna have people living in because you don't have much of a purpose. So this is my synopsis, right? Putting together everything that I've read, studied, movies, predictions, understanding money, understanding the internet, understanding all this thing. This is a fantastic, like major scheme plan. I don't think I ever did this, but I'll do it, right? So everybody's living, most people, I'll say less than 5% of people are aware of any of this shit we talk about, right? I'm saying to the point of where they actually consider it and take it serious. You start talking about most of this conspiracy shit to people, and they're like, "Oh, you crazy as hell, you're funny or whatever." It's just entertainment, and they go on about their way. They don't know anything about the international bankers. They don't know about the Rothschilds or the motherfucking Rockefellers or the banking system, the Federal Reserve, the gold standard. They don't know about none of this shit. They don't know anything about how much of a piece of shit that Winston Churchill was. They don't know about World War II and the reasoning for it. right? And all these different things, right? World War I, World War II. They don't know about any of these things. So you talk most of the shit to people that just think you're crazy. So you're to a point now of where, again, America's in a way. You got to get America out of the way. All right. Well, how do you do that? They told us this in plenty of different ways. The most recent thing I can remember them telling you this was on the episode of Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is another great one too. Rick and Morty just gives you like all of the shit. But Rick and Morty had the thing to where the whatever the creatures were that looked like fucking bugs or flies or roaches or whatever the fuck they're, I don't know. He got to the thing, knocked the currency down to zero, and then they left the fucking planet because money runs everything, basically, right? So what is everybody trying to do and everybody been talking about for like the past couple years or so? You got to get the dollar out of the way. Once you get the dollar out of the way, America's no longer a fucking superpower. It don't matter about the military. Military shit don't matter because now, hey, well, you can't really afford to fund and pay the motherfucking military and be able to motherfucking bullet everybody because your money ain't worth shit. So now you're trying to just pretty much keep everything home, right? You have to protect home and stop going out everywhere fucking with everybody else shit. Not only that, now all the places you have around the world, you have to withdraw from. And you got to be like everybody else for the most part and stay your ass home and just worry about protecting home. Forward projection and force projection is something, again, that people don't understand. America has bases on pretty much every fucking continent, man, or allies in every continent, right? And, you know, some shit to where they can get to it within so far. You got shit in Europe, your allies with Europe. You got shit in Africa. You got shit in the Middle East, of course. You got shit in Asia, right? So America, and then like you say, you got the Navy, right? The Navy, people don't understand just how how impactful United States aircraft carrier is, right? So U.S. aircraft carrier is literally a moving Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever kind of fucking base, is military base, floating military base with all fucking options of offense, defense, whatever you need. Okay. So you run the money into the ground. You take America off the table for being like the world bullies and the world police. Okay. Now you got the robots. All right. Now that the money ain't worth shit and people's at home trying to make everything work and so on and so forth, the money ain't worth shit no more and the people ain't got no job. So now what? UBI. People forgetting. Who's one of the biggest proponents and supporters of UBI? Chapter participation. Who supports UBI, people? UBI stands for Universal Basic Income, by the way. Who's one of the biggest proponents of it? That's another one. Hey, shout out to UFO Kamikaze. Oh, shit, I ain't even talk about that. Hey, there we go. My man Seminole, no. No, Musk. Yang maybe also, but Musk. Elon Musk. Elon Musk had repeatedly said that universal basic income is going to be a must. It's not going to be an option. It's going to be a fucking necessary thing because people are not going to have jobs. Elon Musk is telling everybody like, hey, I'm making these robots. They're going to put you out of a fucking job. Human beings are not going to serve a purpose for the most part. So we're going to have to pay them to exist, pretty much. Elon Musk has said this. Okay. So now that you have the thing to where the people don't have a purpose anymore, right? Well, where are people going to be? Right? You're going to be home 90% of the time. This is why you had this uptick in delivery everything. If we go back 20 years ago, bro, ain't no delivery of fucking groceries. You take your lazy ass to motherfucking Walmart, you buy what you need. You take your ass to Kroger, you buy what you need. You take your ass to Publix, you buy what you need. Amazon was Amazon, but Amazon one motherfucking, I don't even think what was Amazon delivering shit like that, all the stuff to everybody's house like that. I think he was getting stuff like books in the mail. I think Amazon was still in books and maybe a couple of items here and there back 20 years ago, right? But nobody was fucking getting packages every day in their house to their house, right? This is part of the trap, people. Okay. That motherfucking you will own nothing and be happy shit, that's real. How can you own anything if fucking the money's not worth nothing? So if the money's not worth nothing, the vast majority of people don't own property and you're renting, and now you're paying for you somewhere to stay so you're not homeless because of UBI and the robots taking everybody's jobs. Well, now what's everybody gonna do? Stay in the house, and we get into what Fantastic's Wally theory. Wally's another thing. Everybody will be fat as fuck. One or two things. Everybody will either be fit as fuck or fat as fuck. What you think they're gonna choose? If you got the option to sit at home all day and motherfucking work out and lift weights and do push-ups and do pull-ups and sit-ups and, you know, everybody run around the neighborhood and, you know, create a motherfucking run club. Everybody got motherfucking six packs and motherfucking jawlines. Or you think everybody gonna sit their ass at home and eat free Uber Eats and DoorDash and watch TV all fucking day and Netflix? What you think people gonna choose? So this is where we get into the Wall-E theory, right? Everybody fat as fuck. The robots done took over. The robots do all the work. Right? So now, everybody fat as fuck, or the majority of people, vast majority of people fat as fuck, in their house, nothing to do. Everybody fat. Don't nobody want nobody for real. So what now? Well, shit. If you can't afford a motherfucking sex bot, if you can't afford the motherfucking robot wife or the robot husband, now you stuck to yourself. AI like a motherfucker. Everybody look good. Got your little VR headset. Got your lotion. Got your rolls. It's gonna be everything gonna be motherfucking sperm banks in like shit 40 years from now. Now we go back to another movie we forgot about. Demolition Man. Remember in Demolition Man, wasn't no motherfucking physical fucking, it was virtual fucking. Right? That's something that people, biological imperative, you're never gonna be able to get rid of. So what do? You digitally replace it. You get the urges and shit. You get your rocks off, but you're not motherfucking touching no actual person. If you're a dude, you beating off in the fucking cup. If you're a girl, you motherfucking, you know, put yourself to sleep with the motherfucking rose. I.e., the virtual reality shit that you saw on not the creator, the other movie. What's the other movie I keep telling y'all to watch? I'm just saying, man, this shit is, listen, this shit is moving a way, way faster, dog, than what most people would acknowledge or realize or anything. I've seen Idiocracy. Idiocracy is a what's the name thing. Idiocracy is like a funny thing, but that's talks about the dumbing down of society. We've been through that. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but yeah, Idiocracy is definitely a thing. I told y'all, all of this 30-second shit or whatever, bro, that's by design. That's not happenstance. They're purposely killing attention spans. They purposely killing attention spans. Right now on YouTube, don't nobody want to watch the actual people don't want to watch the actual content as the content is made, like live, right? Because you got hours and hours of people going back and forth having the conversation. They want people to go back and review the motherfucking live that you did. Motherfuckers don't want to watch the live, right? They want to watch somebody else review the live. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, even like, you know what I mean? You feel me? Little Rock, what up? I read that one of the side effects of the jab in animals was that some of them couldn't reproduce. Oh, glad you said that. Hold on. Give me that. Glad you said that, brother. That's a big one. Hold on. Pause. So we heard about this before, and thank God for this guy, man. This guy right here was one of the reasons that they had to cut out a whole bunch of the bullshit because he had the paperwork to support it. This man right here, the old fellow right here from the UK, that was putting out all of the information about excess deaths and about the bullshit that was going on with the jab and all this other shit?
COVID was massively overdiagnosed. 86% were false positives. That means 14% were accurate diagnoses of COVID. It was.
Listen, man. Y'all understand we lived through the biggest real-time, real-world social experiment to be conducted globally. I think the only global, this is where, listen, this is communist, democratic, anything and everything in between, socialist, like, you know what I mean? Whatever fucking ideology, whatever type of government, the world shut down. The world agreed we have to run this motherfucking test on the people. Okay? We got to run this test on the people to see how far we can push it.
Massively overdiagnosed by this PCR test.
Spoiler alert, you know how they gave you PCR tests to see if you had COVID? Turns out almost 9 out of 10 of those tests that said you had COVID were fraudulent.
Oh,
listen, man. When I told you, that's another thing too. And shout out to my man for bringing up. Listen, man. They're saying that it's things you can do, and if it is, by all means, do the research, man. If you took the jab, by every chance to see what you can do to get any of that shit, spike proteins and shit out of your system, bro. If you haven't already. Okay. We still don't know what the long-term effects of that's going to be, and what it is and what it was and what the actual planning of it and the purpose of it is. It still remains to be seen. I don't think we had enough time for it just yet.
oh man. God. Of course.
Oh, wouldn't you know it?
So just let me just give you a little background before I drop it on you. This is Kerry Mullis. Now, I've showed this guy on the show before. He's the inventor of the PCR test. That's the
Now, I remember us showing him, right, and talking about it. And if you were to play this man, or it was another female doctor, if you play either one of those two, your shit was immediately striked and you might have got banned. This guy or the female doctor that went through the process and she told what everything was going on and so on and so forth, and she was on Fauci's neck. If you showed this guy right here or that other female doctor, they got your ass up out of here instantaneously. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
test used to declare a COVID pandemic. That's the test that they were using to say if you had COVID, and that's the test that they used to declare the COVID pandemic, the PCR test. Well, there's a big problem with that, and I'm going to show you. And he was Dr. Fauci's most notable critic. He coincidentally died 4 months before the COVID pandemic. They clearly shut him up before they released the bioweapon because he would have exposed it. And so, but just to let you know, this guy won. He invented the PCR test, and he won a Nobel Prize for it. He died on August 7th, 2019, at the age of 74. So here, listen to what he had to say. So this guy's Nobel Prize winner, invented the test that the COVID pandemic was based on, died. Isn't it so convenient that for the establishment that he died 4 months before the start of the pandemic? But here he is talking about the PCR test and how it's not reliable and how it should not be used to diagnose. Watch.
What is it? What is it about humanity that wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen? You know, these guys like Fauci get up there and start talking. You know, he doesn't know anything really about anything, and I'd say that to his face. Nothing. The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine. And he should not be in a position like he's in. Most of those guys up there on the top are just total administrative people, and they don't know anything about what's going on the bottom. You know, those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them to take care of our health in some way. They've got a personal kind of agenda. They make up their own rules as they go. They change them when they want to, and they smugly, like Tony Fauci, does not mind going on television.
And they still allegedly, they looked into the whole auto pen situation, and they're trying. I think they have it in front of the Supreme Court about whether or not they're gonna be able to do anything with that. Listen, anything against children is diabolical, a horrible, horrible thing, and everybody needs to be held accountable and punished to the fullest extent of the law. Okay. All right. Some would say they need to be Thanos snapped, and I wouldn't argue. Okay. But everybody's focused on Epstein, which the Epstein shit is fucked up. But guess who is 10,000 times more fucked up? Fauci. If motherfucking Epstein is a demon, okay, Fauci is motherfucking the devil himself. I understand they use not, and remember, because America was what America was, Fauci was motherfucking setting this shit for the world, bro. Fauci was setting this shit for the world. Motherfuckers out here still motherfuckers still wearing masks. This is why a certain movement, it to me is just like what COVID was. It's like, bro, you cannot tell me that you believe you really need a mask on your face when you go outside and your ass was motherfucking 40 years old. You was 40 up until 2020. Now after 2020, your stupid ass still walking around here with a motherfucking mask on. I just want to snatch it off. Just take this stupid shit off your face. You mean the WHO, brother? The WHO, not the World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum was the other guy. You mean the WHO? WHO was the World Health Organization. World Economic Forum is the WEF. They was part of it too. They was in on it. Listen, Logan, it was not, they lied to the public. They lied to the military. They lied to the military and told them that it was or whatever, but it wasn't, it was never approved. It was just pre-authorized or whatever the fuck it was. They lied to the military, man. They forced people in the military to put this shit in their body. Involuntary motherfucking guinea pigs. I wish I had, bro. I wrote paperwork for this shit because they was trying to make me take the damn the booster, right? So I told y'all, I've been transparent about this shit. I never took an mRNA vaccine because I knew the mRNA shit was, but I did take the Johnson & Johnson shit or whatever, right? Now, I'm not trying to run from the shit, but there's a reason why. Remember, they got rid of the Johnson & Johnson because the Johnson & Johnson didn't have the mRNA and the fucking spike protein shit. It was a different thing. I forget what it was, but it wasn't mRNA, right? Remember, they got rid of the Johnson & Johnson because Johnson & Johnson allegedly was giving people blood clots. Mind you, come to find out, people were still getting blood clots with the mRNA, right? So before they disqualified the Johnson & Johnson, whatever the fuck, that's what I got, right? And then they wanted me to get the mRNA booster, and I told them, no, I'm not getting the shit, and it's not required. So what are we talking about? But they held me against my will and won't let me get off the motherfucking boat and use that shit as leverage to try and make me get the fucking shot. You feel me? In
front of the people that pay his salary and lie directly into the camera. You can't expect the sheep to really respect the best and the brightest. They don't know the difference, really. I mean, I like humans. Don't get me wrong, but basically, the vast majority of them do not possess the ability to judge who is and who isn't a really good scientist. I mean, that's a problem. That's a main problem actually with science, I'd say, in this century, because science is being judged by people. Funding is being done by people who don't understand it. Okay, who do we trust? Fauci? Fauci doesn't know enough to, if Fauci wants to get on television with somebody who knows a little bit about this stuff and debate them, he could easily do it because he's been asked. I mean, I've had a lot of people, president of the University of South Carolina asked Fauci if he'd come down there and debate me on the stage in front of the student body, because I wanted somebody who was from the other side to come down there and balance my, because I felt like, well, these guys can listen to me, but I need to have somebody else down here that's going to tell me the other side. But Fauci didn't want to do it.
Hey man, may he rest in peace. And again, this is why I say I never have no problem with no smoke from nobody. I ain't never ran from nothing. Everything I say, I know I can stand on 10,000%. I know I can stand on this shit. That's why I don't have no problem saying it with my whole chest, standing tall as a motherfucker.
So there he is telling you how the actual game works. And now here's the result of that game. The result is you were lied to about COVID. You were lied to about the PCR test. You were lied to about the entire pandemic, not just the vaccines. You were here. Watch this. Here's Dr. John Campbell. There's a new study out of Germany, and watch what he found out.
You're most welcome to this talk. Now, today we're going to be looking at research from Germany that shows that between 86 and 90% of COVID tests using the PCR, polymerase chain reaction methods, were false positives. In other words, COVID was massively overdiagnosed. 86% were false positives. That means 14% were accurate diagnoses of COVID. It was massively overdiagnosed by this PCR test. And
if it wasn't massively overdiagnosed, if they didn't make this error, which a lot of people think was a intentional lie, which is what it more looks like, and these people are actual criminals, if they didn't have these bogus tests, they couldn't have declared a pandemic, because most people who they said had COVID actually didn't have COVID.
And did y'all ever have to get the damn did y'all have to get the COVID test? You know what? When I thought about this, when I first heard him say this, you know what I think they actually did, bro? And talking about shout out to he said it earlier, right? Because of like I never heard of or had this shit did, bro. They was pushing up past your nasal cavity, like damn near into your brain. I had never even heard of, mind you, this is a derivative of like the common cold or the cold virus or whatever, right? Just like the flu, whatever else, something along that family, right? Okay. And this is medical advice, what's the thing, or medical, whatever. Why the fuck did they have to push the damn thing all the way up to your fucking brain, bro? The whole shit was like just crazy, ritualistic, and weird when you think about it. Yeah, crazy. Like damn near. It definitely didn't hit your brain barrier because you would have died. But you know what I'm saying? It was just extremely, extremely intense. And what's the name to the shit where it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
So 86%, if you round up, that's 9 out of 10 people who the government told you had COVID didn't have COVID. Oh. Remember how they said the flu disappeared during COVID? Well, I bet they probably had flu, but there was incentives for doctors and hospitals to say you had COVID because they got paid. So that's why everybody got COVID, and we're going to use.
And remember, not only did they get paid, remember, if you were to expire within a certain time frame of having COVID, depending on what locality you in, depending on what state, depending on, you know, who was doing the paperwork, so on and so forth, even if you didn't have COVID, you could have died, you know, from or of COVID or with COVID, right? Which those are two different things. Dying from COVID, right? From or of is different than dying with, right? So if everybody died with COVID and, you know, people were clearly propagandized and afraid, right? And when I say everybody, I don't mean everybody. I got to be careful because, you know, talk about it's just crazy, man. Now that we're just fucking 5 years removed from the shit.
This PCR test, and even though the guy who invented it said you can find whatever you want. So here, there's more to this.
The paper that I'm going to be giving evidence for that here. It's actually quite an intelligible paper. You can see it there. It's all in the public domain for yourself. Now, just think about the implications of this.
Yeah.
It looked like there was 7 or 8 times more COVID than there actually was, causing infections as judged by this PCR test.
He says it looks like they were overdiagnosing it, saying that there were 7 to 8 times more COVID infections than there actually was. So 7 to 8 times, that means they overestimated, or they were telling us that they were off by how many people actually had COVID by.
Listen, man, again, I never trusted it, especially we know now that they're putting that shit in everything. I don't trust it. I never needed, I'm not a sickly person, so I might get sick once a year or some shit or whatever. Hey, I motherfucking flush my system with some damn, enough fucking vitamins and shit, mineral, drink enough water, hop my ass in the sauna, I'm good. Right? It's just pretty much my body let me know, hey, you don't reach your threshold of bullshit. You need to fucking detox, right? I do that, I'm good to go, right? But man, listen, sticking a needle in my arm, shit. The fuck? That's not what I wanted to do. God damn it.
So 86%, if you round up, that's 9 out of 10 people who the government told you had COVID didn't have COVID. Oh. Remember how they said the flu disappeared during COVID? Well, I bet they probably had flu, but there was incentives for doctors and hospitals to say you had COVID because they got paid. So that's why everybody got COVID, and we're going to use this PCR test. And even though the guy who invented it said you can find whatever you want. So here, there's more to this.
The paper that I'm going to be giving evidence for that here. It's actually quite an intelligible paper. You can see it there. It's all in the public domain for yourself. Now, just think about the implications of this.
Yeah.
It looked like there was 7 or 8 times more COVID than there actually was, causing infections as judged by this PCR test.
He says it looks like they were overdiagnosing it, saying that there were 7 to 8 times more COVID infections than there actually was. So 7 to 8 times, that means they overestimated, or they were telling us that they were off by how many people actually had COVID by 800%. That's what 8 times means. 800% they were off. They weren't off a little. So he's got more to say.
And I've got a few notes here, actually. I'll just show you them very briefly of how far out things were. Now, this was the Lancet, very prestigious medical journal.
Prestigious, like the Lancet. Let's see if the Lancet was close to an accurate number of how many people actually had COVID during COVID. Let's see. What did the Lancet say?
Not making it up. Check it out for yourself there. So that is the Lancet, the information that gave. And what that actually said, the Lancet said the specificity is greater than 95%. In other words, this is saying that 5% were, at most, 5% were false positives, whereas this current data is showing that 86% to 90%.
So the Lancet was saying, yes, there will be some false positives with the PCR test, but only 5%, when the actual number was 86 to 90%. They said 5. How can the Lancet be that off accidentally? It seems to me that they weren't that off accidentally, just like we found out during COVID.
You said y'all all got the mark of the beast. Yeah, possibly. It remains to be seen, but possibly. If you took the jab, yeah. You got that motherfucking mRNA shit, possibly, because they're supposed to be the foundation for some futuristic shit.
That our medical journals, like our medical schools and our medical establishments and our medical boards, are all corrupted by big pharma money.
But Jimmy, lots of mafias cook the books accidentally.
Yeah, accidentally.
The other mafias are having incompetence and they cook the books by mistake.
So the Lancet said only 5% of the diagnoses of COVID were probably false positives, but the actual number is 86 to 90% were false, which means there wasn't a pandemic.
So I only got COVID because I got my vaccine.
Yeah. Yep.
Are false positives. Bit of a difference. Given that these figures are probably correct, how did the Lancet get it so wrong? Is a question. The UK government, let me show you their site there. This is the UK government site where they talk about impact of false positives. And what are they saying? Well, the figures that they gave, this again is 2020. The UK government are saying, there we go, 2.3% of false positives. So the Lancet at most 5%, not 86 to 90. So the UK government figure was 2.3% false positives. The actual figure seems to be 6%. And the hallowed New England Journal of Medicine, again, this is the reference here. Don't take my word for it. They said, what did they say? 1.7% were false positives.
So the New England Journal of Medicine said there was only 1.7% false positives.
They're only off by like
90%.
It's like, I mean, that's a big factor to be off by.
So now you know why. Now you know why. Is I just elucidated with Dr. Aaron Cariotti that 70% of Americans now they doubt that the medical industry has their best interests. 70%
What
of
was their
Americans.
first clue?
70%
$3,000 copay.
70% of Americans doubt that the medical system in America has their best interest, and now you know why? Because they were lied to at unbelievably extraordinary levels. Because if you think this was this wasn't an oopsie. This was not a
Good
mistake.
people doing their best, making the same mistakes since the 80s.
Yeah, man. Listen, you get the point. I'm pretty sure it was Pfizer and Moderna were both mRNA, if I remember right. You had the Pfizer shot and you had the Moderna shot. The only one that wasn't mRNA at that time when it first launched was the Johnson & Johnson. Moderna and Pfizer were both mRNA, brother. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. They then later had the another one, something true something or something that started with a T. But yeah. Yeah, that's why they attacked it. That's why they said, hey, because somehow Johnson & Johnson was the only one to create one without the mRNA attached to it at the time. They allowed a later one from that came from out of the UK. What's the name? Well, you're not done for, bro. Just do the research, Darville. You can hit me up and I can give it to you. I can guide you in the place. But it's plenty of research to say the stuff to help you with removing the spike proteins. Is there? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's name was one shot. Johnson & Johnson was one shot, not two. You know, UFO kamikaze. That's been another big thing too, though. I don't know if they purposely shout out to when Mayo Monkey was here. I don't know if they did like a genetic modification of the human genome, and I don't know. I don't know what the fucking point was, but yeah. Ivermectin was OTC then. My understanding, it was. They were just saying don't use it. That's why they were saying it. People didn't do no fucking what's the name? People didn't do no research, bro. Silencer, people didn't do no research, man. Everybody just and remember, we were crazy. Silencer, we were crazy. The tinfoil niggas was crazy. You know, certain motherfuckers like, we gonna die. Old niggas scared of a cold. You know what I'm saying? Old niggas was scared of a cold, bro. They was like, we gonna die. You gotta take the shot. The nurses know what they talking about. Man, fuck them nurses. If you don't take the shot, you're gonna die. I'm like, yo, chill out, man. Chill out. We will be all right, bro. You made it all this far, nigga. You ain't die from no cold. You ain't gonna die from this one. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. But again, like I said, man, I don't know, man. I just, to me, a lot of this shit is like if you just have basic understanding of shit, right? Like the common cold is a virus, right? It's something that you never had a fucking cure for. What all of these viruses, the swine flu, bird flu, they're all in the same fucking family related, right? The shit comes and goes. You get introduced to it. Your body produces fucking antibodies. Antibodies fucking spread. The virus duplicates itself to try and survive, but each duplication makes it weaker and weaker. So I just in my head immediately went back to I think like 7th grade fucking science. Germs, viruses, bacteria, right? This is something they used to teach us like as kids. Am I tripping? I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. We learned this in either middle school or early high school. Germs, viruses, bacteria, right? Well, Tia, that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to be, Yeah, man. It was. Listen. Okay, Mayo Monkey. I thought so. Definitely gonna say like what's the name, but yeah, definitely middle school, if not high school. But definitely, like I said, if definitely by high school, if not middle school. And some people like, for us, 7th to 8th grade was what's the name. But yeah, I thought I learned this at elementary school. I had to stop saying elementary school though because I know everybody didn't do 6th grade the same. So my thing is, yeah. Solid, sir. Like I said, man. So my thing was, man, you know, how do we all forget this? And shit, bro, remember, I brought it up. Remember a few like a year earlier, motherfuckers came back to the United States with the damn with Ebola, bro. It wasn't no outbreak because they caught it, but motherfuckers contracted Ebola from Africa, came back to the States, landed in the States, and it wasn't a big deal. Ebola. Ebola is like a 50% survival rate, nigga, a coin flip. No big deal. This new motherfucking cold come around and now the whole world going, come on, man. What is we doing, bro? Darbell just hit me on the what's name, bro. Hit my hit me on the IG or Twitter, bro. Just hit my DM. I'll get at you. Yeah, man, it was. I think it was North Carolina. It was. I'm pretty sure it was North Carolina if I remember. Motherfuckers came back here, bro, and it was nobody was like it wasn't no fucking major alert or nothing. The ones that survived after the motherfucker died. They told us about the motherfucker that died. Everybody went on about their life. Nah, it wasn't Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it was North Carolina. Pretty sure it was North Carolina. Oh no, that was a brotherfucker thing. Doug, you might be right though. I don't know. That was that shit right there. That was a scary one. Cause you can't even my bad. I said corrected there. Y'all said it was Atlanta, My bad. Oh shit. Yeah, man. That's crazy, man. listen, nigga. Listen. Hey. Hey, man. Hey. Uncle Charles sitting in the background. You got Ebola, bro. Hey man, I might need to trademark that shit because I got some apparently Mark Lamont Hill was defending it or some shit. Defending the motherfuckers not saying the F-bomb. They some lady got arrested in the UK because some dude tried to take her and she called him the, you know what I mean, the F word, and now she getting locked up. Oh hell no, brother. I ain't never doing no 6 a.m. stream, brother. What's wrong with you? Hey, no sir. I have no reason to be up there early in the morning. I'm not a morning person. Yeah, man. Listen, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Crazy. Crazy, bro. But hey, man, listen. This is not financial advice. This is not medical advice. But check out silver, man. Check out a way to get your hands on some silver. Expect that shit to skyrocket within the year. You know, invest wisely. You know what I mean? Assets, not motherfucking, not setbacks. You feel me? Definitely crazy. But hey, man, listen. Yeah, everything. Yeah. All my shit the same, bro. All my social media handles the same. But hey, man, listen. I appreciate y'all pulling up on me, bro. Be cognizant, bro. Be putting yourself in a position to be good 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. Real shit, bro. This shit is moving extremely fast. If you are aware of what we're talking about and you're not just taking this shit for fun and entertainment and laughing it off, you're going to be in a much better position than I would say 85 to 90% of everybody else. This is going to hit people like a fucking freight train 5 years from now. They've warned people. People aren't taking it serious. Okay? You need to be getting prepared. All right? You need to be making yourself indispensable. Okay? You need to be putting yourself in a position to where you're going to always be needed and you're going to always have a way to where you're not dependent. That UBI shit, bro, you are a slave. Okay? If they can feed you, they can starve you. You need to have a way to where you do what you want, move how you want, and control yourself as much as you possibly can. This shit is coming fast. Okay? Hey, yo, bro, hit me up. Definitely. Because I'm trying to increase my position. You feel me? Definitely trying to increase my position now. But hey, man, listen. It's fantastic. 824 on all social media platforms. That's that on that one. Catch y'all on the next one. Holla, we out.